this week's episode of the Author Collaborative. As always, I'll be talking to an author whose book I have recently read and enjoyed. My guest for this week is someone who I have wanted to have on the show in the previous season because both our previous titles, my book Fit Melt and her book Cantonment Chronicles, they were both shortlisted for the Authropod Awards in the non-fiction memoir category, and I wanted to have it as a fun episode, my book versus hers kind of a thing, but unfortunately that didn't happen. But now we are here with our next books, our latest books, mine Inked Inheritance and hers The Last Ashoka Cipher, and I'm very excited to talk to her. So let me quickly show you the book cover. The author is Aneeta Sharma, and interestingly she went on to win the Authropod Awards in that category that I just mentioned. Let me quickly invite Aneeta. So this is Aneeta's book that I have read, and this is the book that we are going to discuss, The Lost Ashoka Cipher. And hi Amal. Aneeta is not here yet. Let me quickly invite her. My guest for today is Aneeta Sharma, and we are going to discuss this book of hers, The Lost Ashoka Cipher. It's a mythological thriller, and I had a lot of fun reading it. I don't see Aneeta here. Let me see what the issue is. Do stay tuned. The episode is going to be very exciting because we are two award-winning authors going to discuss books in various genres. The books that we have written in various genres. So, very fun, very exciting episode ahead. Hi Sukana, thank you for joining. If someone can DM Aneeta and let her know. Yes, Aneeta is here. Hi Aneeta. Let me quickly invite Aneeta over here. Okay, I am not able to add Aneeta as a co-host. Okay, yes, now. Thank you.
Yeah, that's
Hi, Aneeta. Welcome
hi.
to the show. Very
Thank you so
excited
much.
to have you here. And I was just telling everyone that both our books were shortlisted in the same category this year in Authropod Awards. And I'm so excited to have you here. I actually wanted to discuss the two books that were shortlisted, but now we have our latest books also, and equally excited to discuss those. So, this is the book that we are going to discuss. Before we go to that, can you briefly introduce yourself to the audience, please?
Thank you, Manali, and thank you for having me here. I've been really looking forward to meeting you, even though it's virtual. And okay, so I am Anita, and I have published 6 books till date. I thought I would be writing only one, but now I have so many more ideas. I don't know when it's going to end.
Yeah, so yeah, I can totally get you. The plan was always to go with just one book and see how it does, and then it kind of becomes addictive. Same for me. And we are here to discuss your latest book, The Lost Ashoka Cipher. I want to say it's a mythological thriller. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it the correct genre?
A mythological, historical thriller.
Oh, yeah, yes. Both, yes. So I am going to read out a few passages from the book. But before I do that, I want to just quickly say that your book made me feel like, why aren't we hyping up Indian authors in this genre more? Because globally, we have authors like Dan Brown who are so celebrated in this
Yes.
particular subgenre. And reading
Hmm.
your book just made me realize that we have in the Indian subcontinent so equally talented authors who are doing justice to the genre. We have Ashwin Sanghi also, but but he's not as much talked about, I feel. The way Dan Brown is talked about globally and celebrated so much, I feel like our Indian authors also deserve an equal appreciation. And your book made me realize that such books and such authors need to be hyped up more. More
Thank you
people
so
need to
much.
read the book. So yeah, absolutely loved reading the book, and I love the fact that you have gone deep down into a rabbit hole of Hindu mythology and Indian history. And we'll talk about the research of it. But I was so fascinated reading about it. I felt proud not only as an Indian who was reading about the Indian history, but also as somebody who's in the same profession as somebody who has done this, because I'm an author also. So I felt proud about that also, that an author has done it, an Indian author has done it. So two side pride of for me. And you have woven the mystery in a way that we are going into different eras, we are walking through different time periods of when this particular thing is happening and passing on through generations. So that is also very well done. And one other thing was that you were revealing it bit by bit. You were talking about it in the present, and then you were telling about it and how it unfolded in the past, which is also very smartly done, because we read about it in the present and we're like, but what happened here? And then immediately we get an answer. So, yeah, very well layered also. And now let's come to the reading part. I'm going to read out from the first chapter itself, because we walk through the centuries and we come to the current period in 2024. So the first chapter starts from 2024. And this is Noida 2024. It starts with, "Run, leave, leave." The voice was compelling and beseeching at the same time. Pungent smoke filled his lungs, searing them with heat and choking out his precious breath. Vicious flames engulfed the wooden staircase, which spiraled downwards from the center of the hall. They lashed furiously against the high rafters, wreaking havoc in their wake. Tortured screams rent the air. He stared in horror, rooted to the spot, even though every inch of his body screamed for escape. Burning beads of sweat trickled down his forehead and into his eyes, hiding whatever had not already been covered with a black mantle of smoke. Blindly, his hand reached out to grip some reassurance of familiarity and recoiled as it was scalded by a molten metallic surface. Drums rolled and pounded inside his head, intent on drowning out the voice desperately trying to break through the pandemonium. Travi, Travi, Travi. With each repetition, the urgency in the words intensified. He willed his eyes to focus. Big, honey-colored eyes were alight with concern as they scrutinized his face. As if from eons away, he took in the soft brown curls tumbling around a familiar face. Sasha? It couldn't be. What the hell was Sasha doing here? And where was he? He averted his eyes and searched desperately for something that would restore a sense of rationality to his groggy mind. The grotesque dolls hanging upside down from the ceiling grinned cheekily at him through their scarlet plastic mouths. What happened, Ravi? You've been behaving as though Satan's been squeezing your gut. His eyes fleeted around blankly and then fell to his knobbly knuckles, which were clenched around a tall glass. It stood out sharply against bloodless fingers. I'm going to stop here. Now you have to go and check out what is happening here and why is he confused about his bearings. So yeah, that's how the story begins. And I must say you have begun on a great hook, because I was like, okay, what is happening here? Is he hallucinating? Are we in two time periods at the same time? Is this time travel? For that, all those answers you have to go check out the book. I'm not going to tell you that.
Yes, I know.
So, Anita, based on my reading, I had a few questions for you related to the book and, of course, your journey as a writer also. Would you be kind enough to answer those?
My pleasure.
Yes. So, my first question to you is, I'm just quickly putting it up. Indian history wasn't merely a backdrop, as I was mentioning earlier. It almost becomes another character in the book. So, was that always your vision? And how did you decide where history ends and fiction begins?
Okay. So, Manali, let me tell you, as a student, I dreaded history. It was never my favorite subject. And I never saw myself writing a historical fiction of all things.
Yeah.
This just happened actually some time back. I got a opportunity to do content writing for a tourism coffee table book. And when I was doing all these search engines for, places, remote places in India, lesser known places, destinations which people hadn't heard of, from there I just drifted to lesser known things, lesser known facts, mysteries of India. And then this concept of the unknown nine cropped up. And it fired my imagination that who were these unknown nine and the secret they were guarding. And what was written in on net about them was that they had these huge works on metaphysics, on astronomy, on archaeology, and so many more. And I have always been fascinated by mythology.
Hmm.
What people normally write about our mythology is, that, oh, they had those arsenals and they had those weapons and they had those Agniban and this one. But there was a lot more to the science than just the wars and the weapons. And I was fascinated by that aspect, how food could be exponentially increased, how the elements could be controlled. So somehow in my mind, these two just converged
Hmm.
and the lost Ashoka cipher came about. So that is how it has actually happened.
Okay.
And talking about the history aspect of it, like most historical books are written in one time, even the fiction, they pick up a time period and they write in that, or they
Hmm.
pick up a character and they write about that. I have deliberately strung it through different eras of our Indian history.
Yeah. And about the part where you were trying to separate fact from fiction, how did you draw the boundaries for that?
Actually, uh, I think the history was the backdrop.
Hmm.
So the fiction was the main story. What is going to happen? What is he looking for? And what is he going to find? And the history part had to be genuine, true, so that if anybody does a Google search, they find that those things are actually there.
Hmm.
It's not something I've created.
Hmm.
So I think it was just a blending. It just happened. Even now, when I look back, I wonder how did I finally come up with this book.
Yeah, a lot of the authors that I talk to, they tell me that it was just intuitive. We didn't think about
Haan ji.
it while writing it.
Exactly.
And I think a lot of it comes from the fact that we are such avid readers also. We understand how it works.
Yes. And there's another thing, the research part of it. I did not, uh, the research impacted me less, more than my traveling, because I travel very frequently. So when I was in Varanasi and I saw that leaning temple, I said, God, this has to figure somewhere in a book. So I think that is how all those ideas and that ancient thing came into my book.
Oh, lovely. So you actually combined your one passion of yours, which is traveling, into your another passion, which is writing.
Exactly. Exactly.
Lovely, lovely. Okay, I can have a follow-up to that, which is while working on the book, did you ever, stumble upon a historical fact and immediately thought, "Oh, this has to go into the book"?
Historical, yes. When I actually, again, that's again reading as well as traveling, because I read about the stupa in Sarnath, and then I and my husband visited it also.
Hmm.
And when we went there, the guide told us that this Dhamik stupa, which is the central stupa, was dismantled by the British. So I
Hmm.
went back and read on that. So I said, this has to come into the book. So that's
I think it was quite fun reading about that, and I love the fact that you have compared Varanasi from the 90s and early 2000s to Varanasi that is now, improved a lot in terms of its infrastructure, the cleanliness all around. So I like that part also, that you have
that
compared
that
the
is
two,
that is that
because
is also lived experience.
I've also gone now. I went in 2018, and I know because what I had heard was not matching to what I was experiencing, because it was so beautiful. And people had told me, it's not safe, it's very dirty, and all of that. I had preconceived notions about it in my mind, and I was like, I was mind boggled because everything was so well handled and everything was very clean.
Yes. Same. It was a lived experience. I have been there earlier when it was a total mess, and recently when everything was so nice and clean. So I
Yeah.
thought this just has to go in. So
Yeah.
it's more of those lived experiences.
Exactly. And I have also gone to Sarnath. So I was very, it was like pleasant reading about something that I've already experienced and nicely woven into the story, historical aspect also. Okay. Thank you for sharing that with us. Which brings me to my second question. That is, you have now written nonfiction as well as fiction. And I have not read your nonfiction, but I know it's an award-winning book now. So obviously, it is at a certain stature. I know that. So, do you approach these genres with different mindsets, or does the storyteller in you remain the same?
See, I'm the same person. My mind works the same way. My heart beats the same way. So I think there's no essential difference. But the main difference is that the memoir which I wrote were true stories. And so they were, again, lived experiences and shared experiences. So stories were there. I just had to weave them into words. So there was no imagination required. There was no connecting the dots. It was just that there is a story which needs to be told, and I just put it down. So that way, it was much easier than writing the historical fiction, which was much more challenging because there you need to stick to the facts, do a lot of search because many of these sites they give you false information. So you need to verify everything from different standpoints to put across only that which is correct, and then also to bring in the suspense and make it believable. You
Yes.
can't just write anything and expect the readers to lap it up. So what is it that they will think that yes, this can actually happen? So
Hmm.
that was more challenging. It took 3 years to do this book.
Oh, wow.
And the Cantonment Chronicles, which is the award-winning book, was just 3 months. I could wind it up in 3 months.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so what I'm understanding from your answer is also that this required much more research because it was not exactly a lived experience. You
Yes.
put aspects of your lived experience into fiction, but that was a lived experience and you didn't have to do much research. It was like, you were just drawing from memory.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you have written other forms of nonfiction, but does that become very specific to nonfiction memoir?
No, I've written other nonfiction also,
Hmm.
and that is the ENQ mantra. So that is ENQ is the energy quotient.
Hmm.
So that would I think fall into the self help, though I don't call it self help. I call it awareness. So that book is basically about how to include mindfulness, meditation, without having to go to gurus and ashrams or doing any kind of study. Just with your own simple habits, how you can enhance the quality of your life. So
Okay.
that is a different thing altogether.
And would you say that the kind of research involved in that was different from what you did for Cantonment Chronicles and for the Lost Ashoka cipher?
Very different. Actually, see, the ENQ mantra has drawn on Buddhism. It has drawn a lot on Chinese philosophy also and Vedic philosophy. And that research, honestly, was not my own. It was my husband's. So he was my research partner. He did all the research. He gave me the facts and I put them together.
Okay, wow. So you have also had that collaborative experience of working on a book.
Yes.
Again, uh, I want to ask because I have never done that and I find it a little difficult. So, how was that experience different from doing a book completely on your own?
Uh, I think it was about the same because my husband is a very non-interfering person. So he would just give me all the material and let me go ahead with it.
Oh,
So essentially, I was writing on my own, but the inputs were coming without me having to do searches.
hmm. So it was like somebody was giving you the first draft, right?
Yeah, sort of.
Lovely. That that is amazing. I mean, as an author, I think that's the least we can expect from someone. I mean, like किसी ने परोस के दे दिया. This is like a dream come true, right? Your
Ah,
effort is so much lesser now.
but not exactly like. See, I'll tell you. I practice Reiki. So when I started discussing Reiki with him, he told me this is very old. It was already there in the Indian system of medication. So the Atharva Veda talks about it.
Hmm.
So when he told me that, I included in the book. So that is how he kept giving me those inputs. Writing was my own.
Nice. Okay, I do have a follow-up question to what I asked, which is that you have already answered it, but I want to focus on the emotional aspect. So, how different was writing an emotionally reflective memoir compared to crafting a high octane historical thriller like this one?
I think personally, I find the thriller more exciting because and more emotionally satisfying
Hmm.
because it gives me the freedom to move wherever I want. So when I was doing my Cantonment Chronicles, there were stories which were already there.
Hmm.
So I didn't have much opportunity to work around them. I had to do it as it unfolded. And
Okay.
here, it is my own baby. I can treat it whichever way I want. So
Hmm.
this is definitely more exciting emotionally for me.
Okay. Nilshri is here. Nilshri is the founder of Arthropod. We were just talking about Arthropod and how
And
Anita.
you're also an arthropod winner.
Yes.
And let's talk about your book for some time now.
Yes. So I am just
Sure.
my questions. The floor is now yours. Yes. Please
Okay.
go ahead.
So I just, I was honestly fascinated. It's a mind-boggling book. We're talking about Inked Inheritance. Uh, am I audible?
Yes. Yes. You are.
Okay.
Yes.
So prior to this, even my jeans fit well. That also got my attention. And after, you craft your titles also very well.
Thank you.
And this book, of course, when I started reading, I was reading from one story to the other without stopping. There was such a wide range for readers from every age group. Yes, that's the one.
The cover. Yes.
Ah, and I realized that the Manali I am trying to reach out to is actually a three-in-one package. She's a person who's passionately in love with books. She's a tremendous writer. I mean, we're not throwing bouquets at each other. I honestly believe that. And also that she's a very grounded family person because that thread runs through all your stories. The influence of the grandparents, the influence of books, libraries, all that was so beautiful. I'll read out something from one of the stories, which was one of my favorites. There are many which are my favorites, but one particular one, which was Soil to Soul.
Oh wow! I think that is Nilshri's favorite too. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Nilshri is here and quickly just reading out what she has read in said in the comments. I just made the editor note page and it's a beautiful collage of stills from the Lit Connect. You both are a part of it too. Thank you so much, Nilshri. Excited for the upcoming edition of Arthropod, which is coming in on this weekend. I think. Yeah, tomorrow. Tomorrow it's releasing tomorrow. Yes.
Okay, so I'll start reading from this, and I'm reading from the middle so that people wonder what happened before and what's going to come after. It became their new evening ritual: tea, chocolate milk, and TikTok. Savitri even started suggesting ideas. One day it was Sholay dialogues. The next, she lip synced a trending viral Gen Z audio which said sass. Ria clutched her stomach laughing. But the golden streak didn't last forever. The TikTok ban came as a shock. Ria's face fell as she read the news aloud. Savitri squinted at her. So, it's over? Ria gave a half hearted nod. Yeah, we'll have to find another app, I guess. For a long moment, Savitri said nothing. Then she straightened up and declared, well, if they can ban one stage, we'll just perform on another. After all, I've worn saris longer than TikTok has existed. Ria gaped at her, then smiled. You're seriously unstoppable. They transitioned to Instagram Reels and Grams on Gram. Very nice. Grams on the Gram was born. The name was Ria's idea, a play on Grams for both grandmother and Instagram. Savitri initially resisted. Sounds like a breakfast cereal. But the first time they typed in the handle and hit upload, she beamed with pride. Their first reel featured Savitri reenacting Wahida Rahman's graceful twirl from Guide, ending with a cheeky wink and the line, don't confuse silence with submission, beta. We just pick our battles better. Beautiful, beautiful comment. The comments went wild. Reel after reel, their page grew. Savitri recreating iconic film scenes draped in vintage saris and heirloom jewelry. Ria paired them with trending audios and effects. They turned Geeta Dutt into lo-fi beats, Lata Mangeshkar into transition videos, and even danced to trending Doja Cat tunes with a tabla remix. But it was the end of real wisdom, the Dadi nuggets that people waited for. Lines like, in love, like in chai, boil once, then let it simmer. How beautiful. Swipe left all you want, but respect is what really matches. Our reels may be short, but memories, they're full length films. Followers grew from hundreds to thousands. Comments came in from every corner of the country, even from NRIs. My daughter and I watch you every evening. Thank you for bringing us closer. I haven't spoken to my grandmother in years, calling her now. As the online following swelled, so did the bond between the two women behind the screen. So beautiful and so many messages packed into one story. How do you do it? It's amazing.
Thank you, thank you. So, a lot of the inspiration for these stories was the social media trend that I have also been loving and following, where I see the different generations coming together and enjoying so much the creation of the reels and, just dancing and having the best of times while bonding over it. So I think this was one of the stories which was inspired by the reels that I have been consuming a lot over the past few years. So
Great.
I absolutely loved it.
Okay, now my first question to you, Manali, is this. The names you have picked up are just, they just hit here. Like Once Upon a Page, Soil to Soul, which I just read out from, Honey and Moon, Pink Slips of Freedom. Even there's a resort they build up and they've named it Nautical Nests.
Yes.
Every name is classic. How do you get them and how much time goes into finding these titles? Because I am a mess when it comes to finding titles for my stories. I'm a total mess. So some help, some guidelines.
So I have always been somebody who likes to play with words, like alliteration and tongue twisters. Those are the kind of things I've always enjoyed right from my childhood, I think, because I've been a reader for the longest time. I started reading from the age of 8. So it's almost been 2 decades of being a reader now, 3 decades, sorry. So yeah, it's been a very fun experience, and I like having fun with languages also. So the language lover and the reader in me combined together to bring such kind of alliterations and word plays into my writing also. And somebody in fact asked me, one of the stories has two dogs who are named Cookie and Cream. So somebody asked me, what is this Cookie and Cream? I'm laughing so loud. They sent me a message after reading that particular story. Cookie and Cream, wow. And the laughing emoji. So I was like, I'm a simple woman. I see a chance to have fun with words and I just take it with both hands. And this name Cookie and Cream has always been in my mind because I know somebody who has a dog named Cookie. And immediately I was like, okay, you should buy another dog with me and name them Cream. And they also laugh. So that's how it comes into my stories also. The kind of person I think I am in outside the books also, I think it translates into my writing, and I like having fun with the play of words. I have always done it with all my books, in fact, because I remember having a conversation about the shortening of the book titles also with a lot of people. In fact, for my last previous book, My Jeans Fit Well and the Ice Cream
And
Didn't.
ice cream would beat.
Yeah, so it was so much fun trying to come up with a proper acronym for that book because it started with Jim because jeans, ice cream, and milk. That's how we started. Then it came to Jimmy because that is also another all of the alphabets indicating a word in the title. And then finally it came to Fit Melt. And it just clicked because all of us unanimously, whoever I was discussing this and shortlisting the acronyms with, they were like, yeah, this is the best. So go with it. So it's a lot of brainstorming. I think I have a circle around me also who encourages this kind of behaviors. So yeah, that helps a lot. They know this part of me. They have accepted it, and they look forward to the kind of fun I have with the words. So that's always when people encourage you and accept that part of you and appreciate it, later on when other people also read the books and the kind of titles that I come up with for my books and my stories, it makes me feel good that whatever brainstorming I did, it's worth it and I should continue.
Worthwhile.
Yeah.
Absolutely lovely. Now, my second question for you, Manali, is these days, I mean, you're much younger than me. And these days, there are a lot of nuclear families. Your generation people are mostly from, just parents and children, that kind of a nuclear family. Yet, every single story of yours has such a profound influence of grandparents
Yeah.
and so sensitively portrayed. So, at times you feel you're living that character. And I wanted to ask you that does this have a autobiographical note? How is your journey with your grandparents, and how much of it is autobiographical?
A lot of it is actually autobiographical because this book is purely a dedication to my four grandparents, two of whom I didn't have a chance to spend much time with, but two of whom I had a lot of fun growing up with. We didn't, I mean, the initial 4 years of my life, I did have grow up in a joint family, but my memories are of those when they used to visit us every year, my parents and I. We separated from the joint family house, but they used to visit us in every possible festival, and at least 2 to 3 months they used to spend with us during the summer vacations. Either they came to us or we went to them. So it was always like, festive occasions and get-togethers were a very much thing for the entire family. And once a month it was necessary to have a chit chat with the grandparents, spend some time with them, giving them a call, or just catch up with them. It was always there. uh, if we forgot, if we as grandchildren forgot, our parents made sure that a call went to them or a visit happened, so that we could you know keep them in the loop of what is happening in our lives, all four of us, my parents and us. So that was always there, and I think that has played a major part in me understanding and realizing how important it is to maintain those familial ties with everyone, not just your grandparents. I mean, your uncles and aunts and everyone. They play a major part because they are, yeah, you are connected whether you accept it or not. And yeah, some of them could be, not as you might not get along as well with them, but beneath all the conditioning and all the snide remarks, there is some form of care. There is there. You know,
Yes.
people always say that there is toxicity in Indian families and Indian relationships. That is always going to be there because a lot of unconditioning also has to happen for them to realize that what they have been doing or what they are doing is not good for the mental health of the current generation. But that will come only with communication, right? If you
True.
fall apart, that's not going to resolve
Helping
itself.
anywhere.
Yeah. So communication, I believe, is the key here, and you need to keep that bond alive. I think that comes to me through my father, who has always been a kind of person who takes everyone together whenever he's doing something. He thinks of everyone, not just himself. In fact, he thinks of others before he thinks of himself, and I think that has translated into my my personality also, and that has been a major part, that has played a major part in coming together of this book. And this book actually I was conceptualized much later in 2024, but the idea was always there that I want to have a book where I talk purely about the generational love, especially focusing on grandparents. And this was actually cementized when I lost my paternal grandmother in 2018, and she passed away before I could give her the gift of a paperback. My first book was out into the world, but it was an ebook. And it that
Mhm.
generation is only like that. If you don't have something physical to show them, they won't understand the value of it. So that was always a dream, that I could not give her a paperback, but I can dedicate one to her. So yeah, that
Lovely.
yeah.
And I feel this book should be read by every single child because, grandparents are not just about celebrating Grandparents' Day once in the year in
Yeah,
school.
exactly.
But yes, if they read this book, they will realize what a lovely relationship it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll now move to a rapid fire question for you.
Okay.
And this is
So what we'll do is we'll do back and forth. One question you ask, one question I ask. Okay.
okay, done.
Yeah.
So, so my first question to you is you've written romance, you've written fiction, you've written short stories, huge range. What do we expect next from you?
So I have not done poetry in a while, so maybe that is what something that I want to go back to again. It's been a while I put out a poetry book. It's been more than 2 years now, so that is some. And poetry is something that is my first love as a writer. I'm first a poet and then I'm anything else. That's what I keep saying, and I have not done that in a while, so I would like to go back to that.
So looking forward to that now.
Okay, my first question to you is, if you could hide one message somewhere in India for readers to discover 1,000 years from now, where would you hide it and what would it say?
Okay, now that's a very tough one. Okay, I'll go back. I'll fall back to my travels. Like, there's a place in Himachal where there is a beautiful lake called Parashar Lake. And it has a tiny island in the center which keeps floating. It keeps moving around. It's not fixed in any one place.
Oh wow.
So, so I would hide a secret there. So
Oh,
let people keep chasing it all over the lake to get to, and nobody ferries you to that island.
oh,
Uh,
okay.
and message, probably hang on to your books. They'll
Hmm,
give you all the answers. Hang
hmm.
on to books. They'll give you all the answers.
True, true. Yeah, and it is my hope, and I do see it happening someday that, the world leaders all around in every country in the world, they will be bookworms. And I think the world will be a better place if that happens.
I hope so. Okay. Now,
Okay.
my second question to you: 10 years from now, how do you see yourself? A podcaster, an author, or I'll add one more, or a poet?
Oh, wow. 10 years from now. I would like to continue doing more of the same that I'm doing because I quite enjoy it. So probably if we are saying to in 10 years, so probably 25 books by then. So that is the number I'm hoping for because in the last 8 years I've written 12. So going by that, I I hope I'm able to do 25 in the next 10 years. Uh, Besides that, this podcast I'm never giving up on. As long as I'm doing books, this podcast will continue. So yes,
Great.
many more episodes of Author Collaborative also. Over and above that, I think I would like to see myself discovering genres as a reader and a writer both, which I have not done before. I have always been, shy about trying new genres, but I would like to give myself the opportunity to explore them as a writer and reader both.
Wonderful. It's a long, long line. You're going to be very busy.
Yes, in a good way. I think if you're doing what makes you happy, you
Yes.
are away from all the negative things around you. So yeah, it's
Agree
the best thing.
totally. I agree totally.
Okay, my next question to you is one scene from the Lost Ashoka Cipher that you love to watch. I mean, you are really looking forward to seeing it into a screen adaptation or on a big screen.
Wow, if that comes true. Okay, so in fact, there are a number of scenes in the book, which I have visualized so intensely that I would love to see how they come out on screen. Uh, One particular one probably would be when Draven goes to his ancestral home and finally he's sitting frustrated on his armchair and looking around for that symbol, the pratik.
Yeah,
Yes, and then he finds it. So I would
yeah.
love to see how it would be enacted on screen.
Oh
And
yeah.
of course, Lhasa, the monastery in Lhasa, I would love to see that on screen, how it comes out.
Now that you have said it, that it's based on something that is actually there in Varanasi, I would like to see that particular scene also on screen where they
Yes,
takes him to that temple and they swim into it, and there's a
exactly.
shivering. Yeah.
And it was such an eerie feeling when I started reading about this temple. I'd seen it, so I wanted to put it in the book. But when I saw it and then I read more about it, it is inclined at a 9-degree angle. And
Oh.
my book was all about the nine. So I said, this is made for my book.
Yeah, exactly. It's a universal intervention. Yes, definitely. Okay, your turn.
Okay. So, what is your personal choice? Ebooks or physical books?
This is a tough one because I grew up on a healthy dose of paperbacks. So, but now I am somebody who prefers ebooks. So I have completely transitioned into somebody who prefers ebooks over paperbacks simply because they are easier to carry around. I mean, in a single device, I can have multiple books. Carrying
Yes.
around paperbacks is a little troublesome because you have to carry 4, 5, especially when you are traveling. I am also an avid traveler, so it becomes difficult during those times. I prefer ebooks especially during those times. So if I'm at home and I don't have to travel around much, like just a day trip or something, I would prefer a paperback. But if it's like more than 2, 3 days, my Kindle, yes, I need that.
And especially if you're traveling by air and the weight constraint is there.
Exactly. I would rather have something important and which is much more in weight than maybe
Yes.
2 paperbacks for that.
True.
Okay, my next
Your
question.
turn.
Yes, my next question to you is, if the following characters from your book had Instagram, what would their bios say? First, Draven.
Okay. So Instagram bio, I suppose he would write it himself, so he would project himself as a journalist and whatever. But if I could squeeze in a word, I would just say the man next door because he's so very ordinary.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. Okay. Next one, Shasha.
Sasha, my word, which I would include in her bio, would be grounded. Very, very rational.
I would also say research wizard.
Yes, so true. Definitely.
Okay, next one, Prakrit.
Uh, Poor guy. Destiny's, I'll use a word from your thing, unfavorite child. You use
Yes. Okay, next one, Derek.
Derek, candid, dependable.
Hmm. Yeah, tough love. I would also include tough love.
True.
Okay.
You read it thoroughly.
Last one, Mickey.
Uh, Naive, easygoing,
Yeah, also
gullible,
misunderstood.
misunderstood also. Yes.
Okay, your turn.
So now my turn. You just mentioned that people should read Indian authors, and yes, why aren't we giving them that much hype? So, who's your favorite Indian author and why?
I think I've already talked about Ashwin Sanghi, so definitely him, and of course Amish also in the same genre, subgenre. Uh, Both of them are write really well. Amish is I'm not much sure about the latest books, but Meluha was one of the best that I have ever read. And same with Ashwin. I think Chanakya's Chant was one of his best that I have read. I mean, they are both still doing great work. Besides these two, I think there are a lot of indie authors and self-published authors also who are very less recognized,
Hmm.
not as much as them. So, in the genres that we are talking about, there are many that I've read in the past few years. One is Nitya Nilakantan. She has written two books in this subgenre. Definitely check out her work. Uh, I'm not able to recall others, but yeah, I have read many good authors, and especially in romance, uh, mythology, and thrillers. I think Indians are doing very well. Indian authors. Yeah.
Great. Your turn.
Okay. My next question is now the next two questions will be where I have messed up our two books. Okay. So the first one in that one object that belongs in both our books and why.
Object, as in books, the written word.
Hmm.
And also, there's one more common thread between our books. We've traveled across the peninsula. Even
Hmm.
your stories are from all across, and even my protagonist travels all over.
Yes. Yeah. That is true. Yes. Travel is also a very important sub theme in both our books.
And as per you, what is the common object?
I would say the manuscripts.
Okay.
Not they are. I mean, in your book, they are very much physically there. In mine, they are like the invisible bond between the generations.
Yes.
They are also physically there sometimes in the form of letters and the objects that are
Yes.
passed from one generation to another. But they are also in the stories where there's not a physical presence. Yeah.
So I think we agree on that. The written word plays
Yeah.
a very pivotal role in both our books.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Your
My
turn.
turn. Okay.
Yes.
For you as an author, uh, what matters more, awards or sales? How many copies sold?
Definitely sales. Right? We have to be honest. I mean, घर भी चलाना है.
Exactly.
And yeah, the awards do make a difference to the sales, but only as much. I mean, only up to a certain point. At
Certain
the
point.
one point, it's the content of your book, the richness of the quality in your book that matters more. So, yeah.
Mm.
Okay,
And I suppose more sales means you connected with more readers. So I think that is more satisfying.
exactly. Yeah. Okay, my last question to you. I think that was your last, right? So now my
Yeah,
last.
that's my last. Yeah.
My last one. I had so much fun framing this one. If you could inherit just one thing, what would you choose and justify your choice? A. Ashoka's wisdom, or B. A box of family letters.
Okay. Ashoka's wisdom, I really don't know what I would do with it. I can't go around building stupas and viharas. So I think I'd go in with a box of letters because they would give me so many more stories to write about.
Yeah, exactly. And something physical that you can be inspired.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Now we come to the last segment of the show, which is a gaming section. So I have designed two games. One is designed around your book, and one is around my book. So the first game we'll play is around your book,
Okay.
and it is titled "Decode the Clue." I will read out three questions, and I will give you some clues. You have to decode the answer. Okay.
Okay.
First one: I speak without a voice, survive without a body, and carry the past into the future. What am I?
Mm, 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 mm. The manuscripts, but then they have a body. No, it's right. Okay.
Writing inscription or manuscript. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay, next one. I'll give you three words. You need to guess the connection. Memory, legacy, letters.
Uh, Draven?
this
No, no, no. Okay.
is my book.
Okay, okay, okay. Sorry, sorry. This
Yeah.
memory,
No, no, that's the
legacy.
answer. That is the answer. Inheritance
Okay.
is the answer. Yeah.
Okay.
And the last one. Imagine you are Draven. You are just finding this clue. Tell me your first instinct in 5 seconds. You are finding the following clues and you have to answer as Draven as to how you will react to them. Okay. First, a torn manuscript with one page missing.
Mm. Oh God, what do I do now?
Next one, a map with one location circled in red.
So this is where I have to go.
Yeah. Next one, a WhatsApp message that says they are watching.
Uh, it's a spam. I'm not going to pay attention to it.
Yeah. Next one, a sealed box marked do not open.
I'll stay away from it.
Yeah. And the last one, a notebook where every third word is highlighted.
I think I'll put all the words together and then try to make out what they're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And for the second last one, I would like to say if it says do not open, that's the first thing I will do.
Okay, no, because I'm paranoid that it might be a bomb. So I for a minute I forgot Draven. I was thinking of myself.
Okay, and now we come to the game which is designed around my book. It's a fun bingo where I will ask you whether you have done this or experienced this or not. You just have to answer in yes or no. Okay, first one, found an old family photograph.
Yes,
Lovely. Next one,
with
kept a
grandparents, uncles, aunts, everyone.
oh, wow, that's so lovely. Next one, kept a meaningful letter.
Yes,
Next one, remembered a grandparent through a smell or recipe.
through recipe. Yes.
Oh, lovely. What dish, if I may ask?
My grandmother used to make a very nice besan ka sheera. You know, whenever we'd have a cold or a sore throat, she would make it in desi ghee and then she would bring it in a small bowl and she would hold it on her own dupatta and she would feed us with that.
Oh,
So now I make it for my grandson when he has a cold.
how precious. Lovely. Next one. Return to a childhood place.
Yes, that was one of my most beautiful memories. My father was posted in Wellington, and I studied there. I was in class five.
Hmm.
And just 2 years back, I visited that place again and I relocated my home. I went there, I went through all the rooms, and it was such a nostalgic feeling. It was
Wow,
awesome. It was awesome.
lovely. Next one. Had a conversation you still remember.
Uh, not exactly, no.
Okay. Okay. Next one. Lost yourself in a great book.
Uh, Yes, my favorite, is Little Women by Louisa M. Alcott. It was the first book my father gifted me, and I must have read it about 10 or 12 times.
Wow.
And even now, I can still pick it up and lose myself in it.
Oh, lovely. Again, I have to confess something here. This is another trick question that I have added in the bingo here because it is to push anyone doing the bingo into admitting, yes, Manali, we got lost in your book.
Yes, I'm so sorry. Yes, that's the second one. I did get lost in your because though I'm not a Kindle reader, I'm the physicist.
Yeah, it's a very slightly done trick question, I know. Okay, next one. Make missed someone unexpectedly.
Missed someone. Yes, I miss my daughter. She's away from me, and I miss her all the time.
Oh, next one. Reconnected with an old friend.
Yes, this has happened thanks to social media. I have reconnected with my friends who were with me in class 10, and we were studying in Gangtok. And now we have reconnected. And we're a good group. We meet together, we party occasionally.
Hmm?
So it's fantastic.
How lovely.
Attend each other's special events.
Nice, how nice. Next one. Cook the family recipe.
Cooked a family recipe? I suppose so, yes, because most of the rest, whatever I cook, is being handed down to me by my mother. So I suppose yes.
Nice. Okay. Next one. Thought of someone while traveling.
Thought of someone while traveling. Uh, I usually travel with my husband, so I think we managed to keep good company. No time for thinking about anybody else.
Nice. Next one. Heard a song from another chapter of life.
Uh, Constantly. I hear so many of those old time songs. "Aa chal ke tujhe मैं लेके चलूं." You know, when I'm playing games or something, I love putting on those old songs and listening to them.
Nice. Next one. Sat quietly under a tree.
No, I'm scared of sitting under trees because I feel, some creepy crawly thing will fall on me. So
Okay.
I avoid sitting under trees.
Okay. Next one. Wondered about a different path your life could have taken.
Mm, yes, I have wondered at times because, Manali, it'll be a slightly long answer. My When I cleared my class 10, so I was asked to take science because if you do well, you have to take science. At our time, that was the only option. You didn't take humanities unless you got very poor marks. And I took science and then did my graduation, everything. Was a science teacher, math teacher for a very long time. And much later, I studied, I did my MA in English, fell in love with literature, and now I started writing. So sometimes I feel that probably had I taken up humanities and say English literature at that point of time, maybe I would have been somewhere else.
Yeah, I have to admit that your journey sounds very similar to mine because I also got good percentage in 10th and obviously everyone was like, you've scored well, now you have to go into the science stream. And I was very sure that science to nahi lena hai. Either arts or commerce. We compromise midway. I will not take science, I will take commerce, I will let go of arts. So I took commerce, I did my BBA, I did my MBA, and then I worked for a while in marketing. And then I realized this is not for me. And then I did my MA in English literature, and here we are.
Oh my God.
Like small world, right? Such a
I
similar
know,
journey.
yes, I know.
Okay, next one. Open the box of keepsakes.
Yes, I have a very special box which has my, children's badges when they became prefects or when they became captains of the school, and all those little trinkets and one pair of earrings which my daughter made for me. She made them herself. So I've never worn them, but I've kept them in that little box. And yes, I love going through them once in a while.
Precious, nice. Next one. Called a family member just because.
Called a family member just because. Yes, it happens quite often. Just pick up the phone, call up an aunt, call up one of my cousins. We are 9 cousin sisters, and we also connected on a WhatsApp group. And we occasionally sit and we talk and we backbite also. So,
Yeah, I agree. Come on, that has to be there.
yes.
Next one. Wrote down a memory before it faded.
I start doing it now on not exactly memory, but a thought which comes into my mind. I won't say memory. Like when I'm sleeping and suddenly I feel this is how I would like to write it. So I get up, open my mobile, and quickly in the documents I type it out.
Yeah.
Because next morning it's clean out. Couple of times it's happened.
Whoever thinks that they're going to remember that thought, they are fooling themselves. It never
Yes.
happens.
And that's very frustrating.
Exactly. That exact precise thought is never going to come back into your mind. Okay, next one. Realize someone shaped who you are.
Oh. Yes, I feel my father shaped me because he introduced me to books. And he would, discuss stories with me. He would always give us books. He never gave us any other gifts. And I used to with my elder sister. I would. She was doing ICSE. She was in that thing. So I would hear him discussing Mayor of Castor Bridge with her, and I was much younger. But then I was curious that he's discussing with her. Why doesn't he discuss with me?
Oh,
That made me want to read those classics. So I think a lot of what has happened in my life is because of that love which came because of him.
nice. Okay, next one. Felt nostalgic watching the sunlight fill a room.
Yeah, my flat here in Dehradun, early morning, the sun just comes in, and
Wow.
it's the most beautiful feeling. It's a lovely thing.
You
Yes,
are living in a, yeah, idyllic place. Yeah.
yes.
I'm also, by the way, because I live in the Netherlands, so it's very natural beauty is
I
plenty.
can imagine. That is one place I want to visit, those northern lights and everything. I am very keen to come one day and see all that.
For sure, you must. Europe across is beautiful. Okay, next one. Shared a comfortable silence.
We share it all the time, me and my husband.
Yeah.
Now, after so many years of marriage, it's always a comfortable silence.
For yours, it's been 9 years, and I can still vouch for it because there sometimes it's just better not to talk.
Exactly. So much
Okay.
easier.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, why ruin the moment by words? That's what I feel
Yes,
sometimes.
exactly.
Okay, and the last one. Continued a family tradition.
Uh, Probably yes, like on Diwali, my mother would make, rangoli with rice, not the colors which you get in the market these days, but soaking rice overnight and with that milk making a rangoli comes out beautiful. It's white, sparkling white, it comes up.
Wow.
So I still do that.
You have to tell me the method to do this because
It's very
that's
simple.
one family tradition that I also continue. I make a rangoli every year. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, so I would love to try this method.
I'll
Sounds
share it with you. It comes out very nice.
okay.
The colors and the flowers can't beat it.
Hmm. Very, very, very excited to try it out this Diwali now. And this has been a lovely conversation, Anita. Before I let you go, I asked this question to everyone, especially guests who I had a lot of fun talking to. So I'm going to ask you, when are you coming up with the next book so I can have you again?
My next non-fiction is already in the pipeline. And I've written a murder mystery, The Dalhousie Murders. So the sequel to that is already with the publisher. So now
Lovely.
let's
So
see.
I have
Let's
to
see.
post the books to have you for that now.
Yes, I'd love to meet up again.
We can, in fact, we can do it this season again itself if you would like, and we can discuss Dalhousie Murders and my book Fit Melt, which was also, against your
Yes.
book, Cantonment Chronicles. I would love to do that. In fact, we can also do one with Cantonment Chronicles and Fit Melt. Something
It would
that
be wonderful. It would be wonderful.
yeah.
My pleasure. I'll be honored if you have me again.
Yes, let me reach out to you sometime after a month or so because currently my recent title needs some, mileage. Once it has enough mileage, we can definitely do that. I would
Definitely.
love to do that. Thank you
Thank you
so much
so
for
much.
joining me today, Anita. This episode will be available on my Instagram feed and also on my YouTube channel. It was so much fun having you here. And thank you to everyone who was there. We got a lot of comments saying superb discussion, enjoying the discussion. Thank you, everyone. That was so positive. And yeah, uh, thank you for joining us. Have a great weekend. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Manali.